Monday, April Fool's Day, 2024, 11/26. And some people may think I'm a fool with what I'm going to show you, but you know, you got to think what you want about the old sharpshooter, okay? Avenge X, this is the bottle version. I'm going to show you a few things here. Now, I've done showed a video where I've used this clamp. I've got me a piece of leather, and I've got short clearance in between the shroud, but now there's pressure on that clamp. Now, there's not a super duper lot of pressure, but alright. And I have barrel rigidity out here on the end. Now, you see the OEM clamp, barrel band, I've cut it off. Okay, I'm probably take a little more off of it, but I've got clearance. See it in there? I've got plenty clearance, but I may take a little more off, but I'm going to show you something here now. That flat looking, we'll call it an O-ring, is in this right here. Watch what happens here when I move this bottle. Now the bolt is in it, all the stock screws are tight, the bottle is fully tight. Watch this. You see what that bottle's doing? See the movement in there? Maybe you can pick that up in that camera. Maybe you will right there in that clearance. Look at that, what that bottle's doing. Okay, so that clamp there, the bottom part of that right there, is letting that bottle move. Well, that's OEM clamps hooked to the top shroud. Well, couldn't it move your barrel? If this can move and it's hooked to the top shroud with the OEM setup, it's going to move you down barrel. So you may be out on a bench shooting this gun, you may get some good results. What happens when you start changing the orientation of this gun, putting it on a sling? Remember, this bolt in here holds this to this bottle. So if I put downward pressure on this and hold up on the bottle, look at there. Look at that. See how much that bottle's moving? See that? So I divorced those two things there, the bottle from the shroud. Okay. Now I've got these screws tight. I'm going to push down on this barrel a little bit. That's good and solid. I've seen a little movement with my action the other day. Maybe I didn't have my screws quite tight enough, especially that little short front one. I'm not seeing as much. Okay. But to me, boys, this is going to be the setup. That bullshit right there is for the birds they had on this thing. Okay, now that tube version, I've got it. I've not played with it yet. Make sure when you're putting these screws in, make sure you're good and lined up. Don't cross thread them. Okay, I think that's aluminum in there them things are going into. So there you go. This is a sharpshooter way. I've never seen anybody show anything like this. Alright, now remember my scope length is helping me here, but now a little shorter scope you would still get some benefit maybe, and I didn't put this band all the way out here. I brought it back a little, but now that scope's fairly long. EPL4 Arkin. Okay. Ammunition on the way, boys. And we're going to shoot, maybe try some more slugs. Play with this gun. I don't know it'll shoot those JSB 18.13s. Okay, now that bottle, like I said, I checked it. She's tight. But you see the movement on that bottle? So if I start monkeying around with this thing, you know, in the woods and stuff, I'd rather that barrel be hooked to that scope. That's just me though, you know, you gotta do what you want. I hope everybody has a nice April Fool's Day.